Greetings aspirants. Today let's talk about another concept from the subject environment and ecology, that is soil pollution. So what is soil pollution? Soil pollution is addition of substances to the soil that changes the quality of the soil by making it less fertile and unable to support life is called soil degradation or soil pollution. Now, this soil pollution is caused due to various sources like the domestic sources, the industrial sources and agricultural residues like the fertilizers and pesticides. Moving on, let's see what are the effects of soil pollution. The pollution of the soil lowers the quality of the soil and hence it reduces the absorption capacity of the soil and hence there is a decrease in the irrigated land and there is reduction in agricultural production. And also because the quality reduces, there will be a decrease in soil productivity. We can also see that once the soil is degraded, the nutrients are absorbed from the soil by the plants to make food. And hence these pollutants or the contaminants tend to accumulate in the plant tissues called bioaccumulation, and when these plants are consumed by the higher trophic level animals, they tend to biomagnify and hence cause various health effects in the organisms in both animals and plants. This soil pollution also damages the landscape or the aesthetic value of the ecosystems. Moving on, let's see what can be done to control soil pollution. The restricted use or proper use of fertilizers or judicial use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides during agricultural practices can be one method to prevent soil pollution. Proper and appropriate irrigation practices are also important to avoid or to prevent soil pollution. Conversion of farm wastes into compost and the use of biofertilizers in the farming practices will improve the quality of the soil and hence the absorption, the capacity of the soil to absorb water will also increase. And also ensuring pollution free or treated wastewater only for irrigation so that the contaminants does not get accumulated in the plant tissues and does not get biomagnified for the higher trophic level animals. Right. And also recycling the waste materials like the plastics, the metals, the recyclable or incineration of non-recyclable wastes should be done instead of just dumping them into the soil. For example, when e-waste is dumped into the soil, when the e-waste are used in the landfills, slowly the contaminants like cadmium or beryllium, they tend to leach into the soil. These pollutants again tend to bioaccumulate and biomagnify in the higher trophic level animals. So today let's also see the concept of soil erosion. Soil erosion is the process of detaching or removal of loosened soil particles by water and wind. This process is called as soil erosion. This is a natural process that happens and this also tends to lower the quality of the soil that is available on the surface of the earth. So, what are the types of soil erosion? Wind erosion, sheet erosion and gully erosion. Let's see what are these by the use of these pictures. See, here we can see how the wind is taking away the top layer of the soil. The top layer of the soil usually contains the humus or it has the higher nutrient value of the soil, and when this is eroded or taken away, the quality of the soil reduces. And here when water tends to run away from a surface of a plain land, they tend to take away the top layer of the soil, eroding the soil. And hence the whole sheet, the top sheet of the soil is eroded. and hence it is called sheet erosion. And when the same water runoff tend to pass in a pathway, in a stream-like structure, it tends to erode in this fashion called as gully erosion. Right, they tend to form deep trench-like structures called gullies, and hence it is called gully erosion. Moving on, let's see what can be done to prevent soil erosion. Firstly, afforestation. Afforestation meaning planting saplings or growing trees on the wastelands or on the slopes of the hills or on the banks of the rivers, so that the soil that is eroded is stopped somewhere and the roots of these plants or the trees tend to bind them and does not allow them to flow easily. The next one is planning the way the domesticated animals grazes in a particular place, especially in hilly areas, making sure that not the complete slope is grazed away completely, making sure that there are places where there is forest, there are few pastures left, so that there is no runoff on the slopes that take away the top layer of the soil. Now, one more thing we can do is construction of bunds where the gully erosion is there. When the water is flowing in a jet format or in a stream format, you can build bunds where the sediments or the top layer runoff is stored in the land. And also terracing or terrace farming is another method to conserve the soil. Terracing is farming in this manner so that there is no so that you can prevent the sediments that are flowing. I repeat. So that you can prevent the sediments from runoff on the terraces that are built in terrace farm. And ploughing and tilling are two other methods where it prevents the soil from erosion. So today we have discussed what is soil pollution, the effects of soil pollution, and what is soil erosion, and the ways to prevent soil erosion. Thank you.